Minister for Education Shawn Edward, education officials and various stakeholders visited schools in Vieux Fort to reassure and stand in solidarity with a community reeling from the horrific homicides of the past few days. Learning institutions were reopened on Monday following their closure last Friday in the wake of the shocking shooting deaths the day before.
It's very important, Chris, for me to have a presence here this morning as minister, as I said, to just reassure teachers that as a ministry and as a government, we are taking the situation very, very seriously. We're working very closely with the police to put measures in place to improve the security situation that would allow for schools to continue as they would have prior to the eruption of gun violence towards the tail end of last week. So this morning I met with the principal and staff of the Binfield Comprehensive Secondary School. I've also engaged the principal, staff and students of the Vieux Fort Primary School, and in a few moments from now I will be going to the Special Ed Center, the Vieux Fort Infant School and the Post-Secondary School as we know it, basically to engage staff and students and to apprise them of some of the measures that we've taken. Obviously I can't go into details in terms of the logistics as outlined by the police.
Edward is taking a hands-on approach to the situation regarding school safety in Vieux Fort. He reveals that attendance is down at primary schools.
We are monitoring the situation on an hourly basis. We are in conversation almost on an hourly basis with the High Command of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and even some of the officers on the ground, because it's a very dynamic situation. It's one that we have to monitor very, very closely. We will continue to make the risk assessments, and once we get to a position where we believe the situation has become volatile again, we will not hesitate to close schools. But I'm satisfied with the measures that the police have resorted to, and that is why this morning we have school. I must tell you that at the two schools that I've visited thus far, attendance has been affected. In the case of the Binfield Comprehensive Secondary School, they're reporting attendance at approximately 50%, but at the Vieux Fort Primary School it's down somewhere between 15 to 20%, and that probably has a lot to do with the fact that the main catchment area for the primary school would be the communities, the immediate communities in Vieux Fort where the gun violence has erupted.
President of the National Principals Association, Valerie St. Helen Henry, can attest that the schools are indeed in proximity to the hotspots, thus the importance of the shored-up security measures.
My visit as the president of NPA St. Lucia is to provide support to the principal who heads those institutions and to assure them that we are there for them, and to more or less give support to the Ministry of Education as stakeholders. We want to ensure that calling the teachers and students back into the schools, that all measures are in place. And I'm sure if they are calling them back in, based on the conversation I had with the minister, there are a number of stringent measures in place, and entering some of the schools I could see that there is an increase in the number of security personnel, and by extension I'm talking about police officers.
The community has been emotionally scarred by the events of the past few days, and the schools are viewed as a safe haven for children looking to escape the harsh reality of the gang violence.
I know we have a dilemma of whether we should keep school open or whether we should keep school closed. But for some persons, that's where they get their grounding, as long as they can be safe. And so safety is of utmost importance at this time, and giving the children an opportunity to be able to say how they feel, talk about it. There are those who are not able to sleep simply because of the uncertainty of the situation. Some of them just need a quiet space where they can rest. So you want to be able to do that. And as much as possible, there are those children and teachers and persons affected who physiologically they're shut down. So they're not able to eat. They have no appetite. Even if you can get them to take a few sips of water, maybe a few sips of liquid, juice and so on, that would help them. All of this is important.
The violence over the past few days in Vieux Fort has been characterized as unprecedented, given that most of the homicide victims are reportedly innocent loved ones who were allegedly targeted by angry reputed gang members looking to exact revenge on supposed rivals. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.